ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्न वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगो मौ मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदर मोहनौ दिव्य वृंदारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारंभे वंशी वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome to 18th day hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam under the banner of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is arranged by Bhaktivedanta College of Vedic Education, Navi Mumbai, India. So this auspicious and more energizing and auspiciousness showering or blessing showering Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, which is being narrated in 100 stories form in 30 days. And this is the purpose of Bhaktivedanta College, essentially to give the Vedic knowledge to whole the globe across, so that right time, in the at right time, right message, right way, the right Vedic process is given to people to really take care of themselves and be protected and be safe and be prosperous and with the attachment to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and really transfer to the spiritual world. So we will start with our standard prayers for starting Srimad Bhagavatam. We need to pay obeisances and glories. We give the glories to Naranarayana, Srila Vyasadeva and Ma Saraswati to become successful in the endeavor of Srimad Bhagavatam glorification or hearing or reading or contemplation. Natya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Yes. So this by the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam every day, so the very purpose of this 100 stories Srimad Bhagavatam for 30 days is to give a practice to all of you that we take up the Bhagavatam study regularly. Regularly means every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So that first of all, you are hearing continuously for 30 days, for 2.5 hours. So means you have the capability to spend so much time. But on regular days, one need not spend, and one can spend also. But let us work out a plan in such a way that throughout life, at least we spend half an hour to 1 hour time. And by this process of Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Prabhupada has given 18-volume series, and which is Na Bhuto Na Bhavishyati, was never before. There is no need, anybody else will be doing in the future. Is not required. So that you can read thoroughly various topics. I am just introducing the Bhagavatam topics, that how important they are. And with this, you will now, then after hearing this, you can even hearing because these videos are available, and we are going to really convert into small story wise. Means each topic we are going to divide into one video. Means each will be around 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and that will be uploaded in the YouTube channel of Bhaktivedanta College of Vedic Education. So we'll have an opportunity to hear whenever you want to hear a particular topic. So in this way you can keep in touch with Bhagavatam continuous and with the blessings of Bhaktivedanta College of Vedic Education, and then get fixed up in the process of reading Bhagavatam, reading and studying. We have to now study the purports, and everybody should be having, as I mentioned, at least 2 sets of Bhagavatam at home. And as they study, husband and wife together, let it be in the morning, let it be in the night or whatever time, and they should have 2 sets, 2 books in the both hands and 2 pens. So as you study, you should keep on underlining what is the point, very striking, very inspiring, analyzing, then they put a book also. So in that way your study will go. So Tashrunvan, then comes Supathan, then Vicharana Paro, then contemplation starts, and then contemplative devotion. So this makes life really sublime and very attractive. Says Bhakti will actually, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. What the purpose of the effect of studying Bhagavatam every day, that is called service to Bhagavatam, will establish Nishtha Purvaka Bhakti. Nishtha Purvaka Bhakti in the heart. So, and the very nice message comes out from Bhagavatam. Okay, when the Bhakti comes, what happens? Okay, I will get to Nishtha Purvaka Bhakti. Then what happens? So, the message very well is given to Nimi Maharaj and by Navayogindras, and it clearly mentions that Bhakti Pareshanubhavo Virakti Anyatra Virakti Anyatra Chaisha Trika Ekakala Prapadya Manasya Yadhashtatasyo Tushti Pushti Kshudapayonughasam. Srimad Bhagavatam clearly gives that in case, the moment you get the Nishtha Bhakti, what happens? The Bhakti, when you start, 3 effects come into picture. First of all is Bhakti will come, then Pareshanubhavo, that means experience of Supreme Lord Krishna. So the first comes Bhakti, you are starting by impelled by the message, continuously hearing, you start Bhakti. And Prapadyamanasya, the person who has taken up this process, Prapadyamanasya, means those who have taken the shelter, the Bhakti. The immediate next effect, first is the Bhakti comes, then comes the experience of Krishna. That is Pareshanubhavo, that you start getting experience. So far only we are hearing, but when you really get into this, you start getting experience of your own, convinced about. Then third comes Virakti Anyatra, Virakti. Then you get detachment from the thing which is not connected to your devotional path. not that which is not connected to you. So everything is connected to Krishna, but which is actually detrimental for your devotional path. Because there are so many things in the world which may not be required, but out of curiosity and inquisitiveness we keep on collecting information. But when it stops, when actually the third effect, viraktri anyatra chaisha trika ekakala prapadyamanasya yathashnata. And Bhagavatam, to understand this, gives an example. Suppose if a person is very hungry, then he immediately jumps and honors the prasadam or takes the food, and he first mixes everything and starts taking one morsel, other 1, 2, 3. So the moment he takes the first morsel, and as he takes this food continuously, he also starts experiencing 3 things. One is tushti, pushti, Kshudapaya. 3 things. First of all, he will get the satisfaction. He starts feeling that as one has gone, he is chewing the food, he starts some satisfaction. Because the tongue is tasting the wonderful thing, his stomach is hungry, and now in front of him a big plate is there, and now he is chewing it, he is tasting, and he starts get satisfied. So when we are doing the devotional service, when you are doing this because of the Bhagavatam study every day, Nityam Bhagavad Seva, then we start getting, we start the bhakti which will be very satisfying to the soul. But at that time one will not feel that it is becoming a burden. You will never think that it becomes a burden. Nobody would feel that when I am hungry, I am eating nice prasadam, it appears to be very burdensome. Nobody feels. If he said yes, because he is hungry, it has come, now he is relishing. It will be never felt as it is a burden. Similarly, when because of this Bhagavatam blessing, the devotion starts, the devotional life appears to be very, very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. When it is very, very satisfying, where is the question that we really become dejected? Where is question we become bored? Where is question of that we try to leave it and take up something else? So this is called, first comes tushti. As a person is eating, he gets tushti, satisfaction. So we start feeling that the devotion is very, very satisfying. That can be seen from the face of the individual who is really getting satisfied by devotion. So next comes Pareshanubhavo. There is actual experience of God, Krishna. So that is equal to a person who started eating. So first morsel he has eaten, second morsel he has eaten, a third morsel he has eaten, and till then his body was reeling. Actually it was swinging. But as he started eating first morsel, second morsel, third morsel, okay, roti has gone inside, then he starts getting energy. He becomes stable, and he will find that his heat in the body or headache in the headache starts going out. Why? Because he started getting the pushti. It's called tushti pushti kshudapaya. Is given Bhagavatam. So he gets pushti, means now body is getting nourishment. So in the first morsel you will not get nourishment. Second morsel you will not get nourishment. You will get satisfaction. But as you, first of all, you are finished with one roti with one nice dal, etc. Then your body started getting, then you get tushti. Tushti is over, now pushti. Pushti means your nourishment. Your body now settling down. So your headache is gone. Understand? So this is Pareshanubhava, means you start experiencing Krishna. That will be exclusively for you. If you try to tell somebody, they cannot understand. As you did not understand if somebody, the realized soul was telling, you did not understand. Similarly, when you experience, when you tell to others, they will not understand. Because it is your experience. These are Pareshanubhava. Virakti anyatracha. Then afterwards, as the person as eating, that is Kshudapayo anughasam. For everything, for every morsel, he would feel that his hungry is going out, hungry is going out, hungry is getting diminished, hungry is getting diminished, continuously diminishing. So similarly, virakti anyatra chaisha, trika ekakala. Then as the hungry gets diminished and disappears at some point of time, similarly, the attachment for unwanted things, the anyatra, then you get detachment. Is all virakti. So these three things happen, a person is taking food. Yathashtatasyo tushti pushti kshudapayo anughasam. So Bhagavatam is clearly giving a picture that how our devotional service, devotion to Krishna starts going, and we can understand. And of course, the example, here the Acharyas have given the one wonderful explanation also. This comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually this verse comes in the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, sloka 42. 11th chapter, 2nd sloka, the 2nd chapter and 42 verse. So they give very detailed explanation and how here when the hungry goes out, your attachment to the food also goes out. But that is, though it is example is given to understand, it cannot be applied continuously, because after you are satisfied, you will get even virakti even about the food. So which you have taken gulab jam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th you become virakti. No, I don't. I am enough. Hurry, you liked it so much. No, now I am showing virakti about whatever I have enjoyed. That may be the case with food, but that will never be the case with Krishna Bhakti. So that example of taking food is only applicable to some extent, not to full extent. It is essentially that. But here the Acharyas very well say that. But if a person is not hungry, say as a person who is hungry, whatever is available, he tries to take food into mouth. Similarly, a person who has developed a hungry to serve Krishna, whatever he sees, he tries to put it in Krishna's service. Whatever he sees, he tries to put in Krishna, and he wants it to use for the pleasure of Krishna. So, if the person is not having enough hungry to use everything for Krishna's service, and also he is not interested to really dive into the ocean of Krishna's prema, then he will never relish. Though he may be floating here and there, or move here and there on the banks of the Krishna prema, he will never dive into that, and such persons cannot enter into the spiritual world. But this type of experiences, the tushti pushti chudapayo, even the beginners also can start experiencing little bit, and eventually it goes more deep. By the mercy of Bhagavatam association, they can really experience it, and that is what Acharyas really blessing us, spiritual masters are blessing us, and Krishna, Krishna in the form of super soul, is also as a friend is advising repeatedly that please get connected to me. So here when we see Pareshanubhavo, but in the world we see a very interesting one. We see something else. Our Lokanubhava is different. The Pareshanubhava means what? Pareshanubhava, as mentioned, really experiencing the God. God's experience is different. We can see that. See, there are nowadays people are becoming famous. Oh, about this corona, somebody told long back. Somebody told, I already predicted, like that. They have predicted, but that's good. But whether they are able to stop it, not able to stop. Whether they have given any process to avert it, no. Whether they have given any process so that we get more a quickest method to resolve it and get connected to Krishna, no. Then what is of use? Suppose if two choices are given, one choice is that I am able to predict the great calamity is going to come. For example, this is I given a chance that okay, there are two choices. One choice is that you will be able to predict what is going to happen to the world. Okay, what is second one? Second is that you may not be able to predict, but when it comes, you'll be able to give a quick solution. You'll be able to quick solution to it, and because of that, people become more religious. People become more dedicated to Krishna, and you also develop a great faith in Krishna. So there are two choices. Which is the best? So intelligently person should adopt the second one, because even if it is somebody told, oh, it's going to happen, somebody will tell that okay, in next 7-8 days there is going to be a big damage to the whole world, that everything is going to be there will be floods for you can't just control it. Then people will go and buy and bring so many lot of things. Let us assume that one. But that floods continued so much that it went for 2 months, and all the things are finished off. Then what you will do? You only get information. But if somebody is able to, yes, let it come, whatever may come, I have a solution. That is the Pareshanubhava. If I am going to get the opportunity Pareshanubhava, that is experience of God, Krishna, that is more beneficial than knowing in advance. This message comes up, and we'll see that there are, and by that prediction, the so-called predictors, they become famous, but the problems remain with all people, and they will get fame, but the problems of the whole world continue. But let us see the Supreme Lord when he predicts something, and he gives solution also. Supreme Lord, when he predicts us, okay, my dear devotee, these things are going to happen in a week's time, but I am going to do this for you. So that is called the Supreme Lord. That we should aim for that Pareshanubhava. So that is going to be our first story today. That is Matsya-avatar. So Matsya-avatar has predicted what is going to happen, and also he has told, this is my solution to you, to devotee. That is called Pareshanubhava. So we should be aiming, we should be aspiring, we should be hankering for such experience, rather than somebody is predicting something which I cannot reverse it, which I cannot revert it, which I cannot counteract it. So this is the message coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually the Bhagavatam is Dashalakshana Yuta Mahapurana. It is containing 10 all quality. A Mahapurana should be containing 10 qualities. So like that it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, Atra Sargo Visargascha Sthanam Poshanamutaya Manvantareshan Muktirashtrayaha. These are the 10 qualities. What are the qualities? Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukada, Nirodha, Mukti, Ashraya. So there are 10 qualities mentioned. The Ishanukada means the Supreme Lord's wonderful stories of wonderful pastime is Ishanukada. Ishanukada is essentially to show the Lord comes and performs the wonderful pastimes which are inconceivable, and they are eventually glorified as stories. The stories are not for mind, the stories are for the soul. Whatever the story which are concocted by story writers or filmy writers, that is basically story for your mind, the pleasure. But the stories which get generated or they get converted from the wonderful pastimes of the Lord, they are not a story for the mind, the story for the soul. The soul gets attracted towards the Lord, because these stories, suppose if any very famous movie is there, how many times you will see that film? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, finish. After that you can't see that. You will get bored of that. But the stories of Krishna is coming from ages. Even Narada Muni heard in his previous life, and he is hearing after life, and he has heard in the Treta Yuga, he has heard in Dwapara Yuga, and like that, and he has come in the Kali Yuga also in the form of Srivas Thakur. The story is going on. So this Ishanukada is nothing but the glories of the Lord, and Bhagavatam is full of that Ishanukada. And this Ishanukada is essentially to attract the people who are with sattva guna. Sattva guna. Otherwise, the living entity is constantly taking birth and leaving the body, taking birth, living body, taking birth and living body, and it's going on continuously. And but if somehow they maintain a good quality, it's called sattva guna, the mode of goodness, they get attracted towards the Ishanu Katha, that is the stories of Lord's protection of dharma and the devoted people. So it is general nature. It is general nature of human beings. If somebody is doing some special activities, some great activities, people get attracted. For example, if a batsman hits centuries continuously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they become very much attracted to that batsman. Or a goalkeeper, somebody is making a football goals continuously, they get attracted and they try to glorify. So that is the nature. That is nature of the people to get attracted about someone who is doing something unusual or beyond their imagination. And but all the human beings who perform such type of activities, they fall, means they cannot be compared also when the Lord performs such an activity. It is this in sun and a torch. Sun and a torch. In the absence of the sun, the torch gives so much light, but the moment sun comes, the torch becomes completely faded. So that is between. So when a person can get attracted towards the torch, that he can definitely be more attracted towards the sun. So that is the basic activity, and the purpose of this Ishanu Kada is essentially to get bhakti, followed by pareshanubhava, then comes virakti anyatracha. And in that way, they take the complete shelter and really make their journey, that is, make journey toward the spiritual world. And one of such Ishanu Katha is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that we are going to hear in next few minutes is Matsya-avatar. Wonderful story and amazing story, and how the Supreme Lord really helps, predicts and protects. That both are there, predicts and protector. The protectors cannot protect even themselves. What to talk about the others? So it is mentioned in the though in the Dashavatar, the Matsya-avatar comes as the first incarnation. Even the Parikshit Maharaj also said that we say that the Matsya-avatar is first incarnation. He says like that. But however, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it comes as the 10th incarnation. Rupam sajagruhe masyam chakshusho dadi samplave navyaropya mahimaya apad vaivasvatam manum. So the Supreme Lord has incarnated as the 10th incarnation in the list of Bhagavatam, and he took Rupam sajagruhe masyam. So Parikshit Maharaj, the first question is that actually the fish form is very, very abominable and is always fearful. The fish is always fearful, very, very fearful, all the time. All the time is fearful, because fish is eaten by big fish. So there are so many fish, the small fish gets eaten by big fish, and that big fish will be eaten by bigger fish, and bigger fish is eaten by biggest fish. So always the fish in the water is always fearful, is very, very abominable, and it is a very, very what we call the painful life. So that's why people not only know, anytime people are, millions and trillions of fish are eaten by human beings. Fish is also dying because fish is eating, and fish is not eating, human beings are eating. So always there is danger, and fish is always attracted towards the tongue, and the fish when it's eating, when it gets attracted towards the worm, and immediately you will find that something, a sharp needle is piercing into the mouth. Just imagine, even we are eating, suddenly even if a small stone comes, we feel so much pain. And the fish is always, when it gets attracted, suddenly it will get pierced with an iron metal, and just that is the most painful life. So Parikshit Maharaj asked, why the Supreme Lord had to take such type of form, the most abominable and the most painful. Then Parikshit Maharaj, when Supreme Lord asked, Parikshit Maharaj asked this, Shukadeva Goswami started explaining, and Acharya also said, whether the Lord takes a form of fish or boar, but we should understand that it is not as per the control of the material nature. It is not by Prakriti, it is not by karma. Actually, that he has a complete free will, and he is away from the effects of the three modes of nature. And in whichever form he is, he performs unimaginable tasks. And he is always, in any form, he is a Shubhankara. Means he gives auspiciousness, and he is full of all great qualities. And he starts saying that in one Kalpanta means at the end of day of Brahma. At the end of day of Brahma. So as we discussed in one of the stories that after the 1,000 cycles of the Yuga Chakra, 1,000 cycles of Yuga Chakra, a day of Brahma gets completed and becomes night, and Brahmaji goes into sleep. So again the same extent is there, again like that the creation continues for a particular purpose. That purpose is very clear, that the whole, why the jails are being conducted. Jails are being conducted because of that is reformatory process. Why the hospitals are conducted? It is for treatment process. So why the material world is conducting, is being continued? It is reformation process, that we change our heart from the enjoyment, self-enjoyment, to the enjoyment of, ensuring the enjoyment of Supreme Lord, and also enjoying along with Him. So when the one kalpa is ended, the Brahma went into sleep. When he slept, from his mouth the Vedas just came out, and a demon called Hayagriva he has stolen them. So at that time the Supreme Lord took the Vedas. He has taken the form of Matsya, and this actually happened far means very much earlier. But in the Chakshusha Manvantara, a similar thing happened. In Chakshusha Manvantara, whatever we are going to essentially discuss is Chakshusha Manvantara. Chakshusha Manvantara is just before our Manvantara, what's happening there. It is Vaivasvata Manvantara is now running. Is earlier is Chakshusha Manvantara. At that time this has happened. Here to protect his devotee Satyavrata, and the Supreme Lord appeared as the Matsya avatar. And the same Satyavrata in the present present Kalpa, he has become, no, not the Kalpa, in the present Manu period, he has become the son of Vivaswan, that Vaivasvata Manu, and his name is essentially Shratadeva. So because of the blessings of the Supreme Lord Matsya Avatara, the Manu, the Satyavrata has become the Manu. So this is the beauty. So in the Satyavrata, we can understand that Satyavrata was a king. He was a big king, and he was from the South India, Dravida Raja. He was a big king. So he went to a river. He went to a river that is called Krutamala river. So Krutamala, he went to the river and he was offering Jalatarpana, and he was giving, generally that is the standard practice of any Vedic process, Vedic one who is following the religion, and they offer the water to sun god and also the super soul in the heart, they do it. So the Satyavrata, when was offering the water, and he was taking water from the river, he's just taking like this and trying to give. So every time he's taking, chanting some mantra and giving. So when he took suddenly he saw, he was just closing his eyes and trying to put. Suddenly somebody started speaking, because he just took it and about to put. Suddenly he saw some here, my dear king. Then he suddenly opened the eyes. He saw some small fish. My dear king, actually I have taken your shelter for one reason. What is that? That there are so many fish, big fish in this river, and they are going to really eat me away. So that's why I have taken, because you are the king. You are the king, and I want to take shelter. That's why I have come to you specifically with a purpose. I have come to. You are a Dina Rakshaka. You are protector of the all those who are weak. And why you are throwing me out? I am more fearful. The fish started speaking like that, and it is mentioned in the Matsya Purana also. It said in Matsya Purana also that actually Supreme Lord doesn't require any protection, but really he wants to make a play, and he wants to really perform such a great Leela. He wants to perform a great Leela. That's why he started saying like that. And even at the time, the Satyavata did not know the fish which is speaking. Fish speaking is something unusual. Fish cannot speak a human being's language. But because of the Maya, even the king could not understand that. How come a fish is speaking? He did not thought that at that point. He just responded, and he even did not know that he is not a mystic fish, is a god, Krishna himself. But he did not understand, and he accepted. He accepted the request of the small fish. He was just fitting into the just ponds. The small fish, this one, very colorful, golden fish. So, and he immediately took that fish and put it into Kamandalu. He was having Kamandalu, he is put in that fish. You just imagine how fortunate he is. He was not aware. He was not aware that unto whom actually he has touched, he has taken onto his Kamandalu is God. And he is just trying to put it in the water. Simple. Very simple activity. So here it is very clear from this event that even if you serve the Supreme Lord Krishna knowingly or unknowingly, it is going to really give a great benefit, unlimited benefit. This is the information. So here the Satyavrata king, Muni, we can say our king, he has brought that to home, to the palace, and he went into his activity. And when the morning he came, he wanted to see that what happened to that fish. Suddenly he saw, to his surprise, that that fish, which was very small, it was easily moving in that Kamandalu, has become so big that he is not able to move within this Kamandalu. And that fish started speaking to Satyavata, my dear Satyavata, you have put it in this, but it has become very small. So can you do something? Please take it. It's becoming too small, I can't move it. I can't move myself. Can you do something? That fish word as heard by Satyavata, and he took it immediately and put it in a well. But the moment he has left that well, into that well, the fish grown like almost 3 feet long, and is almost covered the entire the well. The king was surprised, and the fish very surprised, saying that now I am not able to move in this well also. Do something immediately. Then still he did not. He was feeling something surprising. But when the fish is speaking, fish is growing, and is ordering, and he is doing. It's a great pastimes of the Lord in the form of Matsya Avatar. And he took it, that fish, and put it in a big lake. That lake, as he just transferred with all efforts into a big lake, and the fish has grown beyond that lake. He is not able to even turn this side or that side. And again the fish started saying, my dear Satyavata, do immediately something else. Then he, with all efforts, with so many people, and with help of them, he took and put it into a still bigger lake. But all his efforts, it took so much time, few hours, but In no second it just grown. Then he said, my dear Satyavrata, do something. Then the Satyavrata Rishi king felt that there is no other bigger than the ocean. So he decided to take it. So he took it into the ocean. And when it is being put onto the ocean, again, surprisingly, the fish started saying, why Satyavrata, why you are putting me into the ocean? Because this ocean is full of crocodiles. They will eat me out. I can't really survive here. When it said like this, Satyavrata started he just put the both hands together. My dear, I now am understanding. You are something supreme. Please let me know, who are you? I understand that you are not the ordinary fish. You are not ordinary fish. I never saw such fish. I never heard about such fish. Within one day, you just have grown to the extent of even becoming bigger, very, very big, to be even not the area like the ocean is not sufficient. So I understand that you must be Lord Narayana, who appeared the all. So I am paying my respect to obeisances, and you are only my shelter, like that he started saying. And whoever is attached to your lotus feet, their efforts will never go in vain. And you are the real eternal friend of all the all living entities. The attachment or the service or the worship of demigods, they may give some benefit, but they will not last permanently. They are temporary, but the awards given by your service, they are permanent. Like that, with realization, Satyavrata Muni mentioned. Then at that time, the Supreme Lord, who is in the form of Matsyamurti, started saying, my dear king, please hear me carefully. From today, in next 7th day, the whole universe is going to be inundated. So at that time, so it means the Lord is giving the prediction. In the next, by 7th day, the entire universe is going to be inundated. And after this prediction are going to say, then is given solution. Then at that time I will send you a big ship, a Nava. I am going to send you a Nava. And you be ready, and as soon as the ship comes, you get onto it. And also ensure that all the Saptarshis are also onto that. Also ensure that take all these seeds and Aushadhis, take onto that and be ready. And I will come at that time, like again fish form. And you will find that there will be a lot of trouble, lot of some uncontrolled breeze will be coming. The entire ship will be tossing here and there. At that time, you take help of I'll be around you. At that time, to my horn, you tie your ship. And I will be around you, I will protect you. And at that time, entire the night of Brahma, or whenever the Kalpakshaya takes place, at that time it will be totally dark. But only the Rishis, they give light. And with Rishis, you keep on discussing the spiritual topics, and I will be around you. I will also give you the knowledge. And you will, by my mercy, at that time you will understand my glories completely. The Lord has blessed. Means Lord not only predicted, Lord also predicted the danger or the calamity which is going to come, not for the Satyavrata, actually for everybody. Not everybody. But it is, and also he has given solution. So he is saying that everything is going to be inundated, but you sit you sit on the boat and with all rishis and you discuss the philosophy. So it is our present situation. Everybody is under danger and we are sitting and hearing the katha. So outside, if you go outside, it is like an inundation. Nobody is there on the road. Nobody is there in shops. There are no shops, there are no schools, there are no colleges, no movies, no vehicles. And it is not midnight, it is a normal daytime. Otherwise, in Bombay, maybe after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, people will be moving in big groups. But even now it's 7:30, 48. Nobody is on that. It is just like it has inundation. Everybody has gone inside. So at this time, what we are doing, we are actually studying the katha of hearing the Supreme Lord's stories. It is the blessings of the Supreme. When you are able to hear this Krishna katha, we are able to hear the Bhagavad katha, mind that it has been blessed. It has been blessed upon us. And in that way, the Lord has clearly mentioned. And our acharyas said regarding this, actually this Chakshusha Manvantara, it is not that in every, we understood the Manvantara means the 71 Yuga Chakras is for one Manvantara. Not that for every Manvantara there should be some like this Kalpaksha, that the inundation should be there. But in this Chakshusha Manvantara, for a particular purpose to really appear and give a pastime, actually it is the daytime only, it is not during night time also. At that time sometimes means it is coming to almost midnight, midday. Sometimes after taking nice food, we get some small nap. So like that Brahmaji, suddenly when he was midday of that, so that is he got a small nap. So when he got a small nap, it is almost similar to his night. Of course, night time is very long. This nap may be maybe few minutes. So at that time, when he is napping, means whether you sleep for 1 minute or 6 hours, nap is sleeping. So Brahma slept means, so there should be some pralay. So in that pralay, this Chakshusha, it has happened in Chakshusha Manvantara as per our Vishnava Chakravarti Thakur. Because he wants to really give the knowledge to Satyavrata king, who is eventually going to become Manu in the Vaivasvata Manvantara. So his story will be hearing as one of the stories today, that how the Vaivasvata Manu has come. So the Supreme Lord, the Matsya Murti disappeared by telling this message. And once he disappeared, Matsya Murti, Satyavrata, then he stopped all activities and started meditating whatever he mentioned. He was just waiting for that wonderful moment that everything is inundated, but he is constantly watching the Lord's power with all great association of the Saptarshi. He was just waiting, and when the time has come, suddenly he saw the entire sky is overcast, is covered with all dark clouds and with thunders. The raining started, continued so much so that within no time the ocean came out and it started flowing, expanding again and again, and it so happened all the lokas got inundated. But whatever may be happening, the Satyavrata was constantly he is seeing that everything is getting submerged, but he was constantly thinking that the solution is also given by Lord, solution is going to come. So similarly, we all can be in that mood that we are studying, we are hearing the Bhagavad Katha, the Lord's protection is there, and it is an opportunity for all of us for Pareshanubhava, that is experiencing, is an opportunity for all of us to experience Krishna's real mystic power. The Pareshanubhava Virakti Anyatra. So it is an opportunity, Pareshanubhava. So here he was very fixed and he is not disturbed, and suddenly he saw a great ship is coming. Ship is coming, and he, along with the Saptarishis, he got into that, he put Oshadis as suggested, and as soon as all Saptarishis got onto this boat, big boat, they all said that, my dear king, now simply meditate on Supreme Lord, and he will impart and he will bless the auspiciousness. They were saying that. They had given, because that is the nature of all Rishis Munis, they always remind us of Lord's and Lord's protection. And as they mentioned, immediately Satyavrata king saw a golden fish in front of him. Golden, big, entire thing became dark, but the Rishi Munis, they are resplendent because of their Brahma Varchas, and even the Matsya Murti also very big golden fish, it is also resplendent. And as the Lord suggested, immediately Satyavrata Muni tied the ship to the horn of the Matsya Murti. So in that way, the ship did not move here then, but it's only tossing, that's it. But it's not washed out, it's not submerged, it's just washing, and the ship, the Meena is moving, that Matsya Murti is moving around, and the ship is, and they did the discussions continuously. And there was a great prayers, there are great prayers by Satyavrata Rishi to Matsya Murti. The big, we find all the prayers, the Satyavrata king, he worshipped, he glorified the Supreme Lord as his spiritual master. We don't see every time. In any prayers we don't find that he is always seen as Paramatma, as always sometimes he is talked as the protector of the whole universe, something like that, everything. But here all the prayers are saying that you are the spiritual master. And he starts saying that he has given a lot of glorification to the Matsya Murti as the spiritual master. He says that there are so many demigods and namesake gurus, or so many people, or they individually or collectively cannot show any mercy on anybody. And whatever mercy they show, it cannot be even 1/10,000th part what you can really show. And because of the ignorance, as a blind man leads other blind man, they take only such type of people, but they will never come to a spiritual master like you. Actually, you are the master of all masters. In that way he started. And because he has glorified him as a spiritual master, he got the blessings. He got blessings to really get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in his next life. That's why Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Hamam Vivasvan Manave Prakha Manurikshvakavedavi. So the first knowledge was given to Vivasvan, and Vivasvan has given to this Manu. Manu is nothing but the Satyavrata has become, and he got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita because he got association of Supreme Lord in the form of fish incarnation, and he was for entire time he was hearing and glorifying him as spiritual master. So here some people say that, oh, it is very difficult to get right spiritual master, etc., etc. they say, but the Lord is there to give the complete knowledge both from within and without, provided the individual is very serious and sincere. So it is only by vacha people say, but they are not sincere from the heart. And whereas here the Supreme Lord is always ready to give the knowledge in that way. And Satyavrata also started continuing that the spiritual masters in this world, they always give the information about Kama and Artha. Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha, 4 are there, but they give only Kama and Artha. And the Murkha Sishyas, without understanding this, they start glorifying their spiritual master. But you are totally different. You are actually the best well-wisher. You are the best friend, and you are the best controller, and you are the super soul, and you are the supreme spiritual master, and you are the supreme. You are giver of the supreme knowledge, and apart from that, you are actually the bestower of all desires. But the persons who are interested in the self gratification, they cannot understand you. So I am just taking shelter of yours just to get the enlightenment of the soul, and I request and I pray to you so that my Hridaya Granthi, the knot in my heart, is broken. So in this way he prayed finally, and because of these prayers, in next life he has become, in the next Manvantara he has become Manu, and he got Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita as it is. So that is the beauty of that. That's why from him we can see great things happen. And the entire thing was very, very fearful, fearsome, but in that it's called Pralaya Jala. Entire thing is inundated, and the ship is there, but the discussion is happy discussion about the super soul. And the world is, and it was like a more fearsome. But Saptarishis and Satyavrata are completely free from fear. Completely free from fear. Because the Lord is in front of them. He is taking shelter. He is giving the complete shelter, protection. And he has predicted and he has protected. So in this way we can see the Matsya Murti has done a wonderful pastime during that short period of nap of Brahma, and the same Matsya Murti, we can see that actually the Satyavrata Muni, how he became so much, because he is a dear devotee of Lord Krishna. How come he got this? Because he is dear devotee. We see that during the prayers of Kartika Maina, we always sing that beautiful song, we Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhajamana. So he was a prayer. He of Lord Krishna. That's why Kuber Atma, because the stories of Krishna are there not only just in the Dwapara Yuga, they are there in all yugas. Everybody is praising. So the Satyavrata Muni was singing those things, and because of that he got the blessings of the Lord in the form of Matsya, and because he got great association, he has identified him as a spiritual master. That's why in the next life he has become as the Manu. And in this way, whoever hears this wonderful story of Satyavrata Muni, and also the Matsyavatara and wonderful pastimes of Matsyavatara, and it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that all their desires will be completely fulfilled. That is the power of this Matsyavatara. All their desires will be fulfilled, and all their goals will be fulfilled. And such person, after fulfilling all his goals, he goes straight to the spiritual world, and it is mentioned clearly that Sayate Paramam Gatim, by his word Sayate Paramam Gatim. And Shukadeva Goswami finally says that I am paying obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, who has taken the wonderful, amazing Matsya form, and he has given back all Vedas to Brahma, and also has given complete knowledge to all the Saptarshi and Satyavrata. Unto the Supreme Lord I am paying my respectful obeisances. So Shukadeva Goswami completes the story of the Matsya Murti, and we are also blessed to hear, happy to hear, this Matsya avatar and got blissful feeling. Pareshan Bhava. So hope you all really enjoyed it.